All right, guys. All right, team. So today is the FOMC rate hike decision. It's a big day, man. We got a lot of stuff going on today too. We have the Meta earnings. We've got FOMC. Yeah, we just got a lot of stuff happening today. We got Coca Cola earnings. We've got Boeing earnings. We got Tilray earnings. AT&T earnings. All right, 25 basis points is what's wildly expected for today. Is Meta gonna pump today? I don't know. We got Meta earnings this evening. All right, guys. Whew. Man, my stomach is hurting, dude. I don't even know what is wrong with my stomach. Uh, all right, let me get a poll going on. We're gonna do a poll today. Does the market close red or green today? That's the only thing we're gonna keep it at. Yeah, we're gonna get the music playing. Hold on. Does the market close green today? Vote on that poll. Let me know what you guys think. Spy at 454 is Microsoft. Microsoft did dip on their earnings yesterday. All right, so I had to water down my coffee. Hopefully that doesn't hurt my stomach too much, man. We'll see if it does, but yeah, I had to water it down a little bit. We're up. We are awake this morning. What's up, Yair? What's up, Joseph? Varun, Arif, Trading, SC, Game, BS, DS, Corey, Mansoor, Raz, Alexis. What's up, team? Were y'all red or green yesterday? Let me know. We're gonna get the music playing in a second. Hold on. Up 10% yesterday. Was an awesome day. Nice, Raz. What's up, Jeremy? Big Red. As usual, dump today and pump tomorrow. So a good day to fill bags. What's up, Alyssa? All right, SPY at 450, 475, dipping a little bit in pre-market, still dropping some. PACW had some news yesterday. It's at 10:07s right now. 10:07s. Oh, coffee tastes good. Actually, it went flat last time. Why have your hand over your mouth in the title of your stream? So cringe. I mean, listen, dude. Once you get to a certain point on YouTube, it doesn't really matter that much, man. Like, listen, at a certain point, you got to compete with everybody else, and everybody else is doing the same thing. And so, you know, again, when you start to do this long enough, you don't really care if people call you cringe, man. Like, that doesn't mean anything. All that matters is the channel grows, and that's what it's been doing, man. And so people can critique it. You know, it's all good. Hopefully Microsoft recovers. Yeah, Microsoft actually had good earnings though, man. So Microsoft actually had good earnings. It's actually a surprise that they're down as much as they are right now. You know, like if you look at Microsoft earnings, this was their earnings here. They showed fourth quarter EPS of 269. They expected 255, revenue of 56.2 billion. They expected 55.4 billion expected. So I mean, you know, it could be worse. They did better than expected on everything. All right, so the spy's still breaking down, honestly. Look at the spy. Spy down to 454s. All right, guys. All right, guys. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get the music playing in a second. All right, team. Let me get the music on. I know we got probably some people complaining that there's no music. I'm watching the market, man. The spy break it down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Kurt, I'm really not even trying to brag, bro, but like when you make as much money from running a YouTube stream, right? You stop caring if like you're gonna have a certain percentage of people that think you look dumb and that make fun of you. And like that's okay. Honestly, I could care less. I really do. You start to get pretty thick skin after a while. I just kind of start to troll the trolls back, you know. But one of the things that almost everybody else does is they do the same type of picture on their thumbnails, right? So like at a certain point you got to compete. Um, just today alone, we'll probably hit you know, just today alone will probably hit total views today. We'll probably get about 50,000 or so, 50,000 views today, I'm guessing. Right. And so again, when you get to a certain level, you stop worrying about it. Uh, all right. I have been having a bunch of dudes reaching out to me trying to do my thumbnails for me. So maybe it's time. I'll still probably have a picture like this, but I think my thumbnails could use some work. All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good, Kurt. It really is. Yeah. When is the meeting time? So the meeting's at 2 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. So they're gonna drop the rate hike decision today at 2 p.m. And then the actual press conference is gonna be at 2:30. Xbox and services content up 5%. Yeah, let me look. We got a bunch of earnings dropping like right now. AT&T earnings are about to drop right now. And so I'm gonna put these up, see what AT&T shows up as today. AT&T just posted adjusted EPS of 63 cents. They expected 60 cents. Revenue of 29.9 billion. They expected 29.94 billion. So a little light on revenue. They said they're confident in achieving their fiscal year guidance. Here's the AT&T numbers right here. We also have Coca Cola is at 6:55. They're scheduled to drop theirs at 6:55. Boeing at 7:30. So in an hour. With all due respect, I don't want you to get huge. I love being able to communicate with you, but I also want your success. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Again, we're not okay. If I'm being honest, right? So like if I'm being honest, here we're gonna put the AT&T numbers in the chat as well. So if I'm being honest, my current okay, if I wanted to just stream economic data, right? Like just purely stream economic data, each individual stream would get much more views if that makes sense, right? So like it's hard to explain. So okay, if I just like there's a lot of YouTubers that basically just sit around and stream economic data, right? So they stream CPI, they stream FOMC, they stream Jerome Powell, they stream jobless claims, they stream PPI, retail sales, like all that stuff, right? If I just waited for those days and streamed only those days, each individual stream would get like 5 to 10,000 views minimum, right? And so, but I like day trading and I like day trading with you guys. I like having these smaller streams. So it's like, I guess the balance in my channel right now is like during the FOMC rate hike decision, like today at 2 p.m., right? Today at 2 p.m., we're going to have thousands of people live here, right? Uh, at 2:30, we're going to have thousands of people live here. And then at Meta earnings, we're going to have thousands of people here as well. And so like if I waited for just to cover the big streams, each individual stream would get, 5 to 10,000 views minimum typically more. Like the FOMC stream will get like 25, 30,000 hits on it or so. But I like the day trading streams. I really do. Like I like the smaller streams. It gives me some cool down from the big streams, and it allows the community that I've built to kind of communicate with me a little bit more, just as you're saying, Alexis. So I have kind of planned it like that intentionally, I guess, if that makes sense. Hey, what's up, Calvin? Good morning, man. Hope you're doing good, bro. What time is it over there, dude? He said good morning from the UK. What time is it over there, bro? $11:30, huh? Man. 8 p.m. FOMC. What's up, Vance? When is the meeting? GMT time? I don't know when the GMT time is. What's up, Val? Is there a dip buy in Microsoft, dude? That's my question. Is there a dip buy in Microsoft? We also have Meta earnings today. That might influence stuff. We did buy a little bit of Snapchat, but we are down currently in Snapchat $11.75. So it's a very small Snapchat trade. Our average price, it's not super high up there, and we're fine. The question I have is, should I buy the Microsoft dip? There's AT&T on their numbers here. So AT&T ripping up on these numbers, which is kind of a shock. They didn't have like the best metrics, at least initially. They did think they're going to hit their guidance numbers. So then PACW EPS and stuff like that was 22 cents profit. But look at AT&T here, which is just T. Again, AT&T just dropped a lot of different stuff. They had EPS 61 cent, beat the 54 cent estimate. Sales of 29.92 billion, beat the I don't know. I'm actually showing a different number here for AT&T. This one up instead. So this is showing they beat on both metrics. I'm trying to look for their guidance numbers. Anytime you want to look for guidance on earnings, you look for C's. So they'll say that AT&T C's blank. That's their guidance. So AT&T achieved a $6 billion run rate cost savings target ahead of schedule. Mobility revenue came in at $20.3 billion. Sustainable growth strategy pays off with strong second quarter results. Cash from operations from continuing operations are at almost $10 billion. Business solutions wireless revenue came in at $2.37 billion. Consumer mobility wireless revenue came in at $15.75 billion. I say they put out a sustainable growth strategy, which is very in depth. All right, so here's AT&T's sustainable growth strategy according to them. Adjusted diluted EPS from continuing operations includes adjusting items to revenues and costs that we consider non-operational in nature, including items arising from asset acquisition and dispositions, including the amortization of intangible assets. While the expense associated with the amortization of certain wireless licenses and customer lists is excluded, the revenue of the acquired companies is reflected in the measure, and those assets contribute to revenue generation. We adjust for net actuarial gains or losses associated with our pension and post-employment benefit plans due to the often significant impact on our results. We immediately recognize this gain or loss in the income statement pursuant to our accounting policy for the recognition of actuarial gains and losses. Consequently, our adjusted results reflect an expected return on plan assets rather than the actual return on plan assets as included in the GAAP measures of income. The tax impact of adjusting items is calculated using the effective tax rate during the quarter, except for adjustments that, given their magnitude, can change and drive in the effective tax rate. In these cases, we use the actual tax expense or combined marginal rate of approximately 25%. For 2023 in the second quarter, adjusted EPS from continuing operations of 63 cents, diluted EPS from continuing operations of 61 cents, adjusted for 3 cents proportionate share of intangible amortization at the DirecTV equity method investment minus 0.01 net actuarial and settlement gains on benefit plans. For the second quarter of 22, adjusted EPS from continuing operations is 65 cents. So they're down about 3 cents year to year, to be honest. DirecTV equity method investment, 2 cents per diluted impact of accounting standard update. Yeah, I mean, they're down a little bit year over year. And I never thought that AT&T is going to do bad right now. I think AT&T is going to do bad moving forward. I still think they probably make a bunch of money from DirecTV. I recently canceled DirecTV over the last few years, and so I'm sure there's a bunch of people still using it. But again, I think their margins are going to go down. And if you look at their profitability from this year to last year, right, they went down about 3 cents a share from this year to last year. So from July this year to July last year, they went down about 3 cents a share. So, yeah. Wait for the 3-day washout on Microsoft always works for me on any drop. Yeah, I mean, I usually look to buy the dips too. Microsoft's a little bit different though. Like the PE ratio might be a little bit better right now. I might take a small position, right? But the reason I'm holding up right now and I might instead wait to attack this type of thing later on is because I'm going to wait for the rate hike decision first, I think, and Meta earnings. So, like, if Microsoft is still down substantially after Meta earnings, after the rate hike decision, then I might consider buying that dip. All right, so this one I'm pretty close. This one I got some gains in. All right. Yeah, so Microsoft finally dipping down to 338 here. I guess it depends on what we think the market's going to do, whether we think the market's going to break down or not. TSM pumping hard. All right, so the goal is to build up a cushion here. We got one of these accounts very close to funding. We got two of them kind of close, to be honest. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to get these accounts, see what they're close to. All right, so we got that one. We got that one. we got that one. All right, we'll check this one out. That one's done. All right, we got 6-2. All right, guys. So again, AT&T rip it up. The SPY still pull it back. It still looks like it's in a downward trend, if I'm being honest here. So the SPY still looks like it's in a downward trend short term, on at least on a 1 minute chart. I don't know what a 5 minute chart's going to show, but the SPY does look like it's downward trending. Again, the goal is to build up a cushion here. So we'll see if we get something good. Let me check back up on the chat. What do you think of TLT today? I'm not sure, man. I know we have a bunch of big earnings dropping today, too. So, no, we got a couple big earnings reports today. Specifically, we have Boeing, AT&T, Coca Cola, and Tilray in the morning, right? So, Tilray drops theirs in about 16 or 17 minutes. So, we do have Tilray. Coca Cola drops theirs at 6:55. So, Coca Cola is in about 10 minutes. Boeing's at 7:30. So, we still got like 45 minutes for Boeing to drop their numbers here. But we're waiting on those two. All right, here's the SPY. This is a 5 minute chart. Why did Microsoft drop? Sometimes the moves are just nonsensical. So y'all can hear the music, correct? Let me know. Again, the name of the game today is attacking trends. Yeah, the earnings weren't bad. Does anyone tell me how American market will perform today? Nobody knows, man. We're all just kind of sitting here waiting, you know. The earnings for Microsoft were not bad. AT&T was right here, 61 cent, beat 54 estimates. Sales of 29.9, beat 26.9 estimates. So those earnings weren't terrible. If we look at Microsoft earnings here, let me fix this so it doesn't show. Microsoft earnings right here showed fourth quarter EPS 269 versus 56.2 billion expected. What's up, CT? All right, guys, we still got about 10 minutes left before the other earnings drop. About 10 minutes left. Again, just be careful today. The market might be a little bit sideways in anticipation of the rate hike decision today, which is a big catalyst for this. Seems like IWM is the strongest so far. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's moving a little bit, but again, I'm not in love with any of these. We're watching the market. The market seems to be in a pretty obvious downward trend if we're looking at the SPY, which is what I prefer to look at here. I wonder if I can look at futures here. So here's the E-mini main. This is much better looking in terms of charts. This looks like it's a little delayed. Let me see if I can fix this on MooMoo. I can see futures, markets. I want to unlock futures. Oops. Get out of the way. Options, explore, paper, trade, news. Watch this. Warrants, bonds, forex, futures. Some future quotes are delayed. Yeah, let's fix this. SIBO direct edge. That's what I want. All right, so we got a little flush breakdown here. That's nice. I do have two contracts at the E-mini here, short. Looking to attack this downward trend. But yeah, look at the SPY. I'm just going to put the SPY or the Q up. We can put the Q up as well. Maybe the Q. Keep breaking down, SPY breaking down. AT&T popping up some. Again, we have some other earnings today, specifically Boeing. So here's AT&T intraday. We do have some other earnings today, specifically Boeing, which is BA. Is the symbol BA. There's Boeing right there. We also have Tilray dropping their numbers. But again, Coca Cola, KO, releases their earnings at 6:55. So that is in about 5 minutes. Here's Coca Cola right here on the left side. Spot Q at 377.97. Yeah, we are looking at Coca-Cola here. Coca-Cola is expecting 72-cent profit EPS on 11.72 billion in sales. So again, 72-cent EPS on 11.72 billion in sales for Coca-Cola. Let me know if you guys think they're going to hit or miss this. Hey, what's up, Fox? Jeff. Hey, what's up, Pawn? Want to buy the dip of the rate hike? The euro US dollar will go up, so I will first wait for that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing as well. What's up, Dylan? What's up, Bo? Yeah, I'm waiting for the actual rate hike decision before I mean, I'm going to buy stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be a little bit more careful heading into this for sure. Definitely going to be a little bit more careful heading into this. We are also short on a E-mini trade currently. So we are now short. We took half off. We're in one contract left, shorting the market. Downward trend, so we're just looking to short at that. Padawan is what he's trying to say. What's up, my young Padawans? It's a Star Wars reference. My young Padawan is basically what he's trying to say. All right, guys. We have Coca Cola earnings in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Guys, for Coca Cola earnings. So some of you think they're going to hit or miss or beat. We can look at their intraday chart right here. Look at this is them today, basically. For Coca Cola. The rate hike today is already priced in, probably to a certain extent. How much, we don't know, but probably to a certain extent. I mean, usually we go with what's expected, and everybody's overwhelmingly expecting 25 basis point rate hike. And so with that big expectation, you know, a lot of people are going to get baked into that potential outcome already. What's up, TK? Did you see the title? Yeah, I haven't even looked at Twitter. So the overwhelming expectation is for 25 basis points rate hike. We also have all right, so we did have Coca Cola just drop. Coca Cola ended up showing Merck initiate phase 3 study. Coca Cola ended up showing 70. I don't know what they just showed. All right, so again, Coca-Cola dropping their earnings today as well. I'm trying to figure out more data on the Coca-Cola numbers. Adjusted EPS was 63 cents for AT&T. Coca-Cola. All right, there goes Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola showed 78-cent adjusted EPS. That's versus the expected 72 cents estimates. So 73-cent EPS, adjusted EPS. Which is 72-cent. Revenue of they expected 11.72 billion. right, so what was Coca Cola's revenue here? They're very volatile from this report. Up a little bit now. Revenue of 12 billion. We have Tilray dropping theirs at 7 a.m. in 3 minutes. Boeing. We do have Tilray. So Tilray is expected 4-cent loss per share on 153.27 million in sales. Again, Tilray expecting 4-cent loss on 153.27 million in sales. They're still set to drop their numbers. I'm waiting for this release here. Automatic ADP dropped theirs. Adjusted EPS of 189. They expected 183. Revenue of 4.48 billion. Tilray set to drop theirs in about 2 minutes. Yeah, I've heard a few people mention SIMO. The banking's interesting. They did the Bank of Cali acquisition of PACW. That's an interesting dynamic of the market to watch for sure. All right, look at Coca Cola, guys. Coca Cola ramping up here. Up to basically 63s right now. Up to basically 63s. Again, we'll see if they hold. Hey, what's up, Beach Bum? Oh, yeah, Coca-Cola also raised their guidance as well. Waiting for Tilray in about 20 seconds, guys. About 20 seconds. Make sure they didn't drop their numbers early. I don't see anything for all right, so still moving. Tilray numbers should be out right now. Let's see if they are. NBA mortgage rates, 30-year mortgage came in at 6.87, so flat on the week. Still waiting for Tilray numbers here. I don't see them out yet. Could be have implications for cannabis stocks. All right, Tilray numbers are out. They posted record. They posted record net revenue of 184 million, representing 20% growth. CME Group also dropped theirs 214 EPS versus 220 expected, revenue of 1.4 bill versus 1.34 billion expected. GD dropped their earnings at 2.7 expected EP or 2.7 EPS versus 256 expected. Still waiting for Tilray actual numbers. They put out a big list on Tilray, but we'll post this. All right, team. So again, market's starting to break down a little bit more this morning. Nothing too crazy though. We're still waiting on if I could find the Tilray EPS, which is kind of like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes, man. Where is the freaking EPS, bro? Dude, they make this thing like freaking like a needle in a haystack, man. 20% gross profit, cannabis net revenue, gross margins. I don't care about any of this stuff. I just want to see your freaking EBS. Net loss of 120 million fourth quarter. Adjusted EBITDA rose 93% to 22 million. Operating cash flow. Bro, I don't care about any of this stuff. I just want to see EPS and sales, dude. They make it so difficult to find, man. Well, we're going to have to search this somewhere else. All right, Tilray second quarter EPS 32 cent, missed the 25 cent estimates. There we go. Oh, no, that's not it. Damn. Nobody cares enough about Tilray. I might just skip this one. If they dropped on earnings whisper. No, that's still not. Anybody know what Tilray's EPS is? Like, what's crazy is that nobody else found it either. Like, I go on Twitter and I type in Tilray EPS. Nobody else found it either, bro. Which means that they have effectively hidden it. Ugh. Like, it's so hard to even report it. Like, my guess is it wasn't good, but who knows, man? It might have been good. Let me check the chat. Is this live? No, it's not live. Yeah, I'm using MooMoo right now. Again, anybody know Tilray's EPS, bro? I see all the other ones, but Tilray. Fourth quarter sales came in 184 million for Tilray. That's all I'm about to put up. I'm about to skip the rest, I think. All right, so we did catch this breakdown here. All right, guys, so we got our list on Twitter. Y'all do me a favor, give your boy a follow. We just tweeted out all the big news today, guys. All the big news stories, all that stuff. We just tweeted it out live right now. Give your boy a follow. Here's the link if you haven't seen it. Check it out right here. This is live, bro. No, it's not live, dude. I'm just kind of minus 304 EPS. That's a big miss for Tilray then. That's why they were trying to hide it, bro. I can't figure out anything yet. Like, I can't find it. I really can't. I found their sales, but I can't find their EPS anywhere, which means it's probably not good. Coca Cola up nicely here. Let's see how Tilray reacted to this. Here's Tilray at the top. Tilray actually reacted well, but I mean, it's still at $1.75. Minus 5 cents a share versus 4-cent estimates. Yeah, it's damn near impossible to find. Hey, y'all do me a favor. We'll see who's actually supportive. Look at the post right there. Give me a follow. Hit the like button. Help support it. Let's run those numbers up. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Market's trying to heat up a little bit. Okay, so non-GAAP EPS of 0 beat 4-cent revenue of 184 million, beats by 30 million. Gotcha. Yeah, it was so hard to find, man. I hate companies that do this. I don't hate the companies, but like a lot of companies, they'll just, they'll post their earnings report, and other companies will try to dissect their earnings report. And it's like, bro, most people just want 3 different things. They want 3 different metrics. They don't care about anything else but 3 metrics: EPS, revenue, and guidance. Those 3 things will signal what the stock is going to do, usually from their earnings reaction. Those 2 things, or those 3 things. Again, EPS, revenue, and guidance. Those 3 things dictate what happens with the stock after earnings. And then, but again, Tilray is up. And so if it's hard to find those things, it's frustrating. Snap falling? Yeah, it was falling yesterday. It's actually up a little bit today. We're pretty close to flat there, honestly. Pac West break it down a little bit. Look at Coca Cola just broke highs here. Guys, KO just broke highs. Tilray up there. So Tilray did okay. Q. Snap falling. 1.14 billion market cap. Let's see if Pac West does anything today. You guys red or green so far this morning, guys? Red or green today so far? Again, here's AT&T. Hey, thank you to everybody that hit that follow button. Hit the like button on my YouTube or my Twitter. Thank you. How did the Rangers and the Astros do last night? It looks like they won again. All right, so Astros just 1 game out of first place on the AL West. Now, there's the Q pulling back. Coca Cola pulling back a little bit. We still have Boeing earnings, which are going to be the last big one this morning. Boeing earnings at 7:30 in about 20 minutes or so for Boeing earnings. We got about 20 minutes for Boeing. The Braves are freaking good, bro. I'm not even going to lie. The Braves are good. Like, they're good. Braves are 64-34. Or 64-35. And they're at a 640 average. It's pretty good, man. Props to them, dude. My daughter's favorite player is Ronald Acuna. I like Michael Harris as well. Michael Harris, he's good. Sean Murphy's good. Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, Ozzy, Travis d'Arnaud, he's good too. Although I don't think isn't he sitting out, or he's second string right now? He's catcher. My daughter's favorite player ever is Freddie Freeman, and so she was bummed when he left the Braves. But as an Astros fan, I was okay with him leaving. But man, the Braves are still just really good, man. Yeah, so the Fed meets at 2 p.m. No, the Fed does not meet at 2 p.m. Pacific time. The Fed meets at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the FOMC meeting is. It's not 2 p.m. Pacific time. Pacific time is that's like 5 p.m. market time. It all goes by market time, right? So like New York is in Eastern time, so it goes by New York time. So like anytime you hear timing in the market, it's always New York time, which is Eastern time. Yeah, and I mean I'm an Astros fan, and so like I like the Braves, but only so much, you know. As much as I can as an Astros fan, I like the Braves. All right, so market's mostly consolidating. We've been in a little downtrend. We still have 15 minutes or so until Boeing earnings are out. All right, so again, we are watching Snapchat, PACW, Coca Cola, the Q dipping down a little bit here. And we have gotten ourselves to basically break even on the day in futures. All right, so I guess the real question is, how does the market react to today's Fed meeting? I think that's the only question to ask today. How does the market react to today's Fed meeting? That's the only real question here. How does the market react to today's FOMC meeting and press conference? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's a big day, man. It's a big day. Yeah, I mean, Tesla, Coca Cola pull it back a little bit. Here's Tesla. Tesla down a little bit today, but it had a good day yesterday, I think, right? No, it had a red day, but it was up yesterday in pre-market, and the previous day was good too. So, is the meet with rate hike announcer mystery? Well, it's pretty probable that they're going to raise rates 25 basis points. Future hikes. What time does Boeing report? Boeing reports theirs in 14 minutes at 7:30 market time. Chipper Jones, man, the great. Trading Bitcoin, my sentiment is just short at the next pump. Hey, good luck, man. Where's Bitcoin at nowadays? I haven't looked at it today. We're going to be doing a crypto show much later on today as well on beginner crypto also. David Justice, he's great too, man. Yeah, I mean, Tesla's had a crazy big run. The question is, does it hold though? And I think it could. You know, that's the real question: is does it hold this crazy big run it's been on? You know what I mean? I really don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I know Tesla's run is what scares me. I don't know why I didn't, but Meta's flying and pushing the queue. So yeah, let's pull up. Here's Meta on the right side here. There's Meta at $300, slightly over that at 301 right now for Meta. 301. Could be wrong, but seeing a bear flag. Meta news: Alibaba going to use their AI, and that's great news for them for sure. Tesla could retest 240, 220. It really dumped. This is a solid dip. Yeah, I think long term Tesla will be fine. I think short term's the question, and I really don't know, man. All right, there's Meta pumping up though. Tesla bouncing up some here as well. All right, we've been kind of going back and forth. We're down a little bit on the E-mini trading that today. Yeah, we have a Discord. Bank of America up $4 despite NQ insane 5-minute candle. Yeah, we actually have that 5-minute candle up. It's a big green candle for sure. All right, and with that said, if you haven't checked out MooMoo, guys, MooMoo is a really nice platform, man. This is the platform I've been using for a month straight now, and it's just incredibly useful. Like, again, for my trade ideas, it's useful. Like, don't get it twisted. For my trade ideas, this is very, very useful. Okay, very, very useful. Like, look, I can go to this paperfolio section as an example. I can look up all these different traders. I can see what percentage they're up on the month. And then once I see their percentage, I can see what they're holding to give them that percentage. Like this guy, David, he is holding 8 different things in his portfolio, 8 different stocks. He's holding Rivian, Coinbase, Tesla, The Trade Desk, TLT, PDD, Amazon, and Shopify. Seems like a pretty good portfolio. And you can see just on the month, this guy's up about 30%. He's up about 29%. You can see his recent buys. You can see what holdings by market and by sector, and you can see his total returns. And I can also follow him. If I click follow, it'll alert me. You know, it'll allow me to basically check on him every day, see what he's doing. And that's a very useful feature that's underappreciated on MooMoo. And this platform is free. It's free. If you do explore here, I can see a heat map on what's been doing well, what sectors are really performing well. And this does give me some good ideas for my swing trades. I can go to the best performing sectors here, see that as well. I can go to after hours, IPOs. I can go to pre-market, see what the biggest moving stocks in pre-market. Here's SIMO, which had a lot of people talking about it right here. It's up 75%. I can click it and pull it up on my watch list, see the options, see the news on it, see the announcements, see the research. Just really useful, in all honesty, just really useful. And that's just a small piece. I can go to hot strategies and see horn tops, bearish flags, bearish symmetrical triangles, just all this different stuff. Bearish diamonds, bearish wedges, very useful. I can look at IPOs, announcements, dividend payouts. I can look at futures. I can look at build my own screener by PE ratio, which is something I love using as the PE ratio metric. I can build my own screener. I can check out their news section and get the most up-to-date on my watch list. I can look at an economic calendar to see what's going on. And again, this is all free and there's zero commission stock trades. So there's no commission as well, which is very useful, guys, very useful. And if you open up an account and deposit at least $100, you get 5 free stocks. You open up an account and deposit at least 1,000, you get 15 free stocks. Think of the percentage return just by doing this. You open up an account and deposit over 5K, you're going to get the previous 15 plus a free share of Google or Tesla. And I did get Tesla. Check it out. Here's the link if you want to help support the channel. I also pin it to the top of the chat. Again, it's a great way to help support the channel. All right, Meta's still pumping up this morning. Over 301s right now, man. All right, so team. The NASDAQ here. The NASDAQ is starting to bounce up some. So the NASDAQ is starting to reverse here some. Look at Meta up, Tesla consolidating. Again, I'm going to pull up the Q or the E-mini. Market's starting to bounce back a little bit. Let's see if they actually hold. You can see the Q popped back over the 200 EMA. And what's this green line right here? I don't want this one. Yeah, I don't want this green one here. I want the EMA, but I don't want that one. Yeah, see the EMA. I just want the 200 EMA. That's all I want. I will leave it for now because we can't really control it. All right, let's see if the market holds, team. Again, we do have some news dropping today. Again, the name of the game today is going to be attacking trends, is what we really want to do. Attacking trends is the goal. Do you use chart patterns? Yeah, of course. Yeah, we use chart patterns. I mean, yeah, of course we use chart patterns. Oh, the MooMoo link is now pinned to the top of the chat if you want to check it out. So if you look at the poll at the very top of the screen and then look underneath it, you'll see MooMoo. Yeah, market's fallen down a little bit. And honestly, we've been capitalizing on it on one of these accounts. It's a big drop here. Now, we'll see what the market continues to do. But pretty big drop. And we've been shorting it on the NASDAQ. We've been shorting the NASDAQ. Because that's a big fall. Yeah, market reversed very quickly, starting to move all the way back down to the bottom of the range here. Look at this. So here's the Q. I'm going to put the SPY up, I think, or the NASDAQ here, but here's the SPY. SPY's doing the same thing. Look at this fall. Yeah, what's up, Tyler? All right, look at that NASDAQ fall from grace. Again, the SPY is still consolidating downward here. It's a big day today, man. We also have building permit data in an hour. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we do have building permit data in an hour. I forgot about that. NASDAQ just turned. Nice. Shorting at the lows. Locked in about $500 on this account. A little bit more than that, actually. All right, so we're out. We made about $550 on this account so far. No losses on this one. Again, the goal is to build up a cushion in each of these, to be honest. And that's something that's been working well. We're kind of playing momentum some also. But yeah, you can kind of see me in this account right now. On Top Step, which is a funded account program for futures. We're up about 550. No losses on this account yet. We had one loss on our main account, but again, we're just kind of grinding. I'm looking at the news that just happened here. It could be Boeing news dragging the market down. Boeing just reported second quarter loss per share of 25 cents. EPS of 82 cents per share, beat the 84-cent estimate. Sales beat expectations as well. Here is Boeing numbers right there on screen. There's Boeing right there, and that is tanking the market down somehow. Let's look at Boeing on the screen here. Here's BA on the right. Boeing's actually reacting positively with the NASDAQ and the SPY are breaking down, which is interesting. NASDAQ is what's fallen. NASDAQ looking very weak short term. You see the SPY consolidating back and forth. Boeing up to 219s or so. All right, so the NASDAQ's starting to bounce up a little bit and retrace. Again, we'll see what happens here. The FOMC rate hike decision is today, and that's a big day today, guys. Big catalyst. Market's volatile. Let's see what happens with the NASDAQ. SPY's still trying to fall. Boeing just cracked highs at 222s right now, 222.30s. This did drag the market up some. SPY stronger than the Q. Well, yeah, Q's a little bit more tech-based. They've been having a little bit more issues lately. Now we've got ourselves back to break even trading the NASDAQ here on our main account, which is nice. At least we're going to head into it. I just need more volatility, to be honest here. Like one of my things, like I try to trade the regular E-mini, and the regular E-mini is just not quite volatile enough for me personally. So like it moves a little bit too slow and it has a big range. And so it's like what happens is you just kind of sit in these long-term trades that you don't really want. But it's taken so long to do anything that like you end up sitting in them. And so because of that, the NASDAQ definitely moves faster, but it's easier to trade momentum off of it. All right, we're back to slightly green on our main account too. There we go. Beautiful breakdown that we just called on the NASDAQ here. Wow. All right, so nice. So this brings our main account to where we're up about 120 bucks, which is beautiful here. So in this main account, we really only need, so far right now, in this main account, we really only need about 600 bucks in profit to get funded today. About 600 bucks. We were shorting the NASDAQ. And again, I'm finding more success with that. I got to be a little bit more careful, but I think if I'm going to try to make those gains today, that's what we're going to try to do. But look at Boeing, man. The market's flushing down, though. So Boeing had a pretty good result here. Snap's been pretty flat. Actually up a little bit, though, on the day. I don't understand how 82 EPS beats expected 84. That math ain't mathing. Well, you're looking at it the wrong way. That's losses, right? So that's 82-cent loss per share versus 84 cents expected. And so 82 cents is a smaller loss than expected versus 84-cent estimates. So in that regard, it beat the expectation. It was better than expected. It lost less than expected. That's what you got to look at it under. If it has parentheses around it, it stands for a loss on EPS. All right, guys. NASDAQ still flushing down here, dragging the market. Boeing's still doing pretty good. Right, so Nasdaq's still pushing down, dragging the S&P 500 down with it too. But the good news is that I have a cushion on the day now on the regular E-mini. So I have a cushion on the day now. Are expecting 25 or 50 from Powell. 25 is almost certain. So if the Fed sticks to the pause that's below expectation, would mean bullish, kind of. I have a strong feeling today will be very dark. Anyone else have that feeling? No, not really. I mean, listen, every major FOMC meeting, we get a lot of people that come out and they say, I've got a bad feeling about today. I think sometimes, I'm not saying it's confirmation bias, but I think you get a lot of people who think we're going to have doom and gloom on days like today. And that's pretty consistent. Every FOMC meeting, we get the same thing, basically. We get a lot of people saying the market's going to crash, the market's going to fall, the market's going to dump, all that good stuff on FOMC day. And very rarely does it happen. Even Michael Burry, Burry famously put out a couple, months and months ago, he told everybody a cryptic sell tweet right before the FOMC meeting. And then I think he tagged FOMC, I'm not sure, but he just said sell right before it, basically insinuating that the market was going to crash or something like that. And a lot of people listened and they got really short or got really bearish in nature. And then the market ramped up, and then he notoriously deleted his Twitter and pretended he never said it, and then only reactivated his Twitter months later. Just to put it into perspective of how many people consistently think the market's going to crash every FOMC meeting, and very rarely does it. Again, I cover all of them, and it's just not something that's super common, to be honest. Meta up 2%. Yeah, Meta's been running, man. Meta's been very solid. This guy maths. Yeah. He tweeted saying I was wrong to tell you to sell. And I like Burry too, man. Again, if you've ever seen The Big Short, you know who Michael Burry is. Michael Burry is Christian Bale in The Big Short. Dr. Burry. But yeah. What's up, Chef? Every time is different, but they all rhyme. Yeah. Yeah, what's the famous quote? History doesn't repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. Is that the quote? Yeah. Mark Twain. All right, so the market's still looking pretty weak over the last short term here. Again, here's the SPY, break it down all the way to 454.73s. Boeing's still doing pretty solid on their EPS and sales beat. Drew Amato, let's talk about it. You're only allowed to eat one sandwich for the rest of your life. What are we selecting? One sandwich ever? I'm going to go with like a meatball sub or like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is probably what I would go with. Maybe like a grilled cheese if I can have tomato soup with it, What do you guys think? Yeah, in my opinion, the market goes in cycles, looking out on a 4-hour daily chart. You can see where it's going for the most part. Sometimes, it'll take a lot to take the market. Yeah, I mean the rate hike is largely expected, guys. Largely expected at 25 basis points. And when I say large, 99% expecting a rate hike today. So we're probably going to raise rates. All right, Snapchat's still kind of edging up a little bit. We're pretty much flat on the trade. Is there a short argument here? Hey, thank you, day trader. Fed needs to raise 50. I don't know. I don't think inflation is super bad. It's relative to expectations. Inflation has come in pretty solid over the last 6 months. I'd have to go with bacon, egg, and cheese with Chipotle sauce. I'm not a big fan of Chipotle sauce. But, like, again, I'd go with, like, a grilled cheese and tomato soup or a peanut butter and jelly or a meatball sub. That's probably what I would go with. All right. How to trade FOMC? Don't buy anything ahead of it unless you just feel like gambling. I just wish everyone that invokes. Yeah. All right, guys. Today is FOMC day. We're going to do raise 25 basis points almost certainly today. Crazy, man. Fiat, guys. Fiat sold only 144 vehicles in quarter two. 144 vehicles in quarter two. Less than 2 vehicles a day throughout the entire United States. That's crazy. Fiat's overdone, obviously. But, I mean, it's more of an overseas brand, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's not. But that ain't good. Yeah, they're saying they have cooler calls overseas. You know what Fiat needs to do, bro? Fiat needs to come out with like a race car, dude. I'm telling you. Like, they need to come out with their AMG, but they need to soup that thing up. Like, who's running Fiat, though? I mean, I question what they're actually doing over there. All right, so market's bouncing back up a little bit. We do have a little bit of a bounce back. The question is, do we continue in this trend or do we break the trend? That's the question today. We got a little bit of a cushion on the day so far. That's good. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize this. Fiat owns Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. So I mean, it's not like they're struggling. They're just probably not wasting time putting their money in these baby cars, these little baby cars. Uh, I don't know, man. Somebody said we only have rich and poor. I think the standard of living in this country, even at the very bottom, is is very good. Is very good. And I think that's an objective thing. And I think people lose track of that because they get competitive with others. But I think like the standard that we have here in the US is very good. Um and I think that's just the reality of it. Yeah, those little cars, I could never drive one. It'd be hard for me to fit in one. I'm not the tallest guy, but I'm not the shortest guy either. And so at 5'11", I'm sure I'd be pretty uncomfortable in that car, you know. Digital coach? No. But again, digital coach, it's kind of like what our T earnings were 63-cent EPS versus 60 expected, revenue of 29.91, expected 21, or no, that's wrong here. Look, this is the better one. They're confident in achieving fiscal year guidance. So that's their numbers right here. The problem is that middle class is living paycheck to paycheck or deep in debt. Yeah, but if it's housing debt, it doesn't really mean much. If it's credit card debt, then I think I think over time we put out this standard of living that everybody wants to hit, right? Where we get to go out and eat all the time, we get to go out and hang out at the weekends and do all this different stuff. And if you're trying to keep up with that lifestyle constantly, it depends. I think it's more nuanced than that. But what I will say is like the people, like typically people who are unemployed still have a very good standard of living here in the country. Now I know there's a lot of homeless, but I think that's mostly from drug addiction. In all honesty, like alcohol and drug addiction. I think that's mostly what it is. Um, and again, they can say it's not, but that's mostly what it is. Now, I'm not saying there's not like housing problems where housing and rent are super expensive at certain places of the country. That's obviously true. But I just think in standard wise, the U.S. has a very high standard of living relative to other countries, you know. And maybe I'm wrong though. Nasdaq trying to reject a little bit here. Yeah, it's definitely mental health. Definitely plays a factor for sure. But I think that what happens is I think it's I don't really want to talk too much about it. It's a little bit too controversial of a topic, to be honest. But I agree that mental health plays a huge factor. But I think addiction plays a pretty big factor, and I think sometimes those basically are the same thing. You know, I think people are addicted to things, and so they don't pay their rent, and they don't pay their mortgage, and they don't. They sell their car for money, and like you know what I mean. I think that happens a lot, and I think that is what happens. You know. Um, yeah, for sure. No, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's possible. Found out last night that Visa and MasterCard have 50%, 45% profit margins, respectively. Other companies like Macy's have 5. Well, yeah, I mean, Visa and MasterCard are going to be rolling in money, of course. Everybody uses them, so like they're going to be rolling in money. Yeah, I think what I tell my daughter is this, right? I tell my daughter, look, if you want a stable, safe income, go to college, get a corporate job. If you have dreams higher than that, then just work in a corporate job, then start your own business. Because that's really where the levels at play are different. Like beginner trading is a relatively small business, but I make more than most of my friends that went to college, most of my friends that got master's degrees. And so if you want to do really well, you start your own business. You can make it in corporate, or you could do both. The smartest thing is probably to do a little bit of both, where the smartest thing is probably do a little bit of both, where you get a corporate job, you save up your money, and then you start another business on the side. And then if that succeeds, you still go. If that doesn't work out, you still got your corporate job. If it does, then it does. I think that's probably the best move. As long as she doesn't get a job in like journalism, or like, again, I want her to get a STEM degree. No, she can get a job in journalism as long as she doesn't get a degree in journalism, which is just a wasted degree, or like a bachelor's in psychology without a master's. It's just a wasted degree. Yeah, but I mean, listen, what I will say is that, like, I have a lot of friends that got caught up in addiction. It's not all for mental health. Like, sometimes they just get stuck on it, and it can happen to anybody. So it's not like it's just only people with mental health problems are going to be the ones that get addicted to stuff. It can happen to anybody and everybody. They can be the most stable person ever. They slip up and try the wrong thing at a party or whatever it is, their life can spiral downward. And so it's not all pure mental health. I disagree. I think it can happen to ultimately anybody. And I think there's some of the stuff that's out there right now is incredibly addictive and very difficult to get off of. It's one of the reasons, like, I push cannabis legalization so much, is because cannabis doesn't cause physical withdrawal symptoms like that. Where it's like some of these synthetic pain medicines, they trap you, man. They get you on it. You can't get off of it. If you try to stop, you'll have terrible withdrawal symptoms, and it's just a nasty cycle. I've seen a lot of my childhood friends get wrapped up in it, and it's rough. STEM, medicine, or law, 100%. Yeah, I feel like I would like living in a hotel too. All right, guys, Boeing pulling back a little bit. Had good earnings, starting to dip down some. Oh, for sure. Absolutely, BG. I agree with you there for sure. Hey, thank you so much for whatever donation that is, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, the rate hike decision's at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, 2 p.m. Well, it could be a lot of stuff, man. All right, so market's still pretty flat. I mean, we're going back and forth, back and forth. Hey, thank you so much, man. It's $3.50. Hey, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. We have you on the big TV here at our job at 7 a.m. every morning. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? At Tesla Bull's job. What's up, team? Market's mostly flat right now. You can see it's kind of and again, we have the rate hike decision today, so a lot of the time traders are less likely to just take big size positions because of potential volatility from the FOMC meeting and all that stuff. And so typically on days like today, we get less volatility than normal. And again, the rate hike decision is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. They're almost certainly going to say 25 basis point rate hike, followed by the actual press conference at 2:30. Gold up again today, too. Gold's been doing all right. Saving my buying power until 2. Fiat owns Dodge. Yeah, I saw Fiat owning basically everything. So I think it makes a little bit more sense now when you take that into consideration, where it's like Fiat, they don't need to sell Fiat cars. All right, so there's the 8 a.m. scrum right now, guys. There's the 8 a.m. scrum. I think we're done with all the big earnings. All right, so Boeing, Coca Cola, Tilray, Thermo Fisher out, Hilton, ADP, CME, and more. All right, so there's the 8 a.m. scrum, and this is just when overnight orders get filled randomly. Building permit data at 8:30. Yeah, the building permits at 8:30. Right, so yeah, T and Boeing earnings. All right, so we did have the AT&T earnings here, team. Market's up a little bit, but again, mostly a red day. Hasn't really done much. Again, the FOMC meeting's at 8:30. Still got some time here. We're going to be streaming basically all day today. Yeah, Coca Cola already dropped their numbers. Can you help us understand what the 8 a.m. thing is? It's not really anything. It's just random orders getting filled overnight. FOMC will not raise. They will next year. No, they're going to raise. Yeah, I'm using MooMoo now. The queue didn't blast up. It's the 8 a.m. scrum. It's just orders getting filled overnight. You'll see a bunch of random orders getting filled. It didn't actually pop up. Again, it happens not just on my platform. Every platform, you'll see kind of a bunch of orders randomly get filled, and it'll kind of cause these big candles for a split second. Yeah, they're going to raise rates 25 basis points without question. You know, the thing to understand about the FOMC meeting is that it almost always comes in as expected. Yet, for whatever reason, ahead of every FOMC meeting, you get a bunch of people who are betting against, you know, the 99% probability. And they always bet against it. But again, it's almost certain that we're going to raise rates 25 basis points. Betting that we're not is a very low probability bet. Very low probability bet. Small drop today, afternoon perhaps. Yeah, it'll affect the SPY for sure. The FOMC meeting will for sure. How much, we don't know. Gold prediction if the Fed raises rates. Well, the Fed's probably going to raise rates. I think gold and a lot of other stuff is already baked into the market, I think, right? Maybe not. What do you guys think? If the Fed were to pause again, there would probably be an immediate shoot up followed by massive tanking. It would be an interesting afternoon. Yeah, it's not going to happen, but I mean, if it did, it would be a really shock jolt to the system. You know, like again, since so many people expect a rate hike of 25 basis points, if we do anything outside of that expectation, the market is going to be much more volatile than it otherwise would. Things are going to pretty much go as expected, though. They're going to come in at 25 basis points. And then what's going to matter the most for this specific thing is what Jerome Powell decides to say, like what his stance is, what his tone is, if he's bearish or bullish, if he's hawkish or dovish. If you don't know what that means, hawkish just means a restrictive monetary policy with rate hikes. Dovish means an expanding, less restrictive monetary policy. So we'll see what he says. We'll see what he does. That's going to be the most important thing. And again, we're going to stream the entire press conference live right here like we always do. So sub if you haven't yet. But yeah, the future projections, guidance, and the overall meeting is going to be big. Do you think the rate hike is already priced in? Probably. What's your meta prediction? I'm not sure. Meta earnings, we're going to stream those as well after the bell. So I don't know what they're going to do for earnings. They're up a lot, though. And so I think some upward action is getting baked in to a certain extent for Meta, but who knows? Why are they adding these hawkish, dovish stuff? Isn't that just another way of saying bull or bear? No. It's two completely different things. I mean, the market reacts in a similar fashion to bull and bear. But again, hawkish means restrictive monetary policy. It doesn't have anything to do with like the market's reaction to the monetary policy. It just has to do with the monetary policy, whether the federal bank is going to have a restrictive monetary stance that's hawkish or a loose, less restrictive monetary stance that's dovish, right? So that's basically what it is, but two different things. Yeah, Meta's had a great year, to be honest, man. Why would Goldman give such a big upgrade to AMC? Goldman. So the CE warned. So did AA Ron tweet again? Let's check it out. All right, so AA Ron posted the day before yesterday. He said, "It sure feels fabulous to see that our theaters are packed. Barbenheimer caused the busiest weekend at AMC in 4 years, both in the U.S. and Europe. In the U.S., Saturday single-day numbers were the 5th highest ticket revenues and the 2nd highest food and beverage revenues in AMC's entire 103 history. These are such hopeful signs for our eventual recovery in the years ahead, but we should not let ourselves be confused by the euphoria arising from this weekend's box office numbers. Moviegoing in 23 is still well below 2019 pre-COVID levels. The writers and actors strikes creates uncertainty ahead, and cash is very tight. We will still have to manage our company with all of our smarts and all of our skill to get to the promised land. And that is Adam Aaron, end quote from Adam Aaron. How old is Tommy Chong? He's 85, man. Tesla dip. Yeah, I mean, everything's kind of dipping. Hey, just something to munch on. What if they increased rates above expectations hypothetically? It would probably cause a pretty big negative reaction in stocks. I think it would probably it would be a pretty bearish reaction. I think, like, say they came out and they raised rates 50 basis points. Market's not going to like that. Yeah, like the market's not going to like it if they raise rates 50 basis points. The market's just not going to like that. I mean, it's almost certainly not going to happen, but like the market's not going to like it if it does. My best guess for theater experience is moving to theme park. Chong from Cheech and Chong. He's old. Right, so senators introduced a bill to ban basically politicians, including the president, vice president, and Congress, from owning and trading stocks. Do y'all think that's a good move? Look, I'm all for ending manipulation in retail. Like, I'm all for ending counterfeit, naked short selling, and all that good stuff, right? But like a lot of the stocks that people are using as an example of this big manipulation are just terrible companies, man. These are just not good companies. You know, how many times, like, I talk about it every day, and I understand that. But like, dude, I just see so many people like, yeah, you know, it's like, bro, y'all were pushing the stock. The stock was at $10 a share. Now it's at 20 cents a share. Y'all are going to blame that solely on naked shorts? Like, get out of here, man. Like, the stock's just not a good company. People don't trust it. It's up and coming. It's obscure. Like, when you bet your life savings on an obscure penny stock and a gamble, you can't cry manipulation when you lose, you know? That's just something I see so often. It's like, all right, we get it. You lost your life savings betting on an obscure penny stock. I mean, I'm not going to say you deserve it, but like, that's what happens. You play stupid games, you know? I think people, like, I partially blame the get rich quick culture of the stock market, where it's like, hey, you want to get rich quick? Look at me. I just made 30K in penny stocks. You know, everybody wants to copy that, but like, they're probably not really making that money anyway, the real way. Yeah, I agree. Politicians shouldn't be trading. I really don't think they should be trading. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a chance, Jimmy, for them to recover, but SEC investigating the MMAT for potential fraud. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't even know what MMAT is one of those stocks that was just up big. Now it's down big. I don't even know, what to say regarding it. It's just, I don't know. It's just a sketchy company, for lack of a better word. I don't know enough about it to really say, so don't judge me too much on it. But all right, guys, we got 13 minutes before building permit data. Building permits are not the biggest release, so they're not going to be like the most relevant thing ever. Bro, you are one of the most realistic YouTubers out there. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We try. Bottom line of all our public, yeah. I mean, I agree, Chris. I don't trust either side. You know, like I think sometimes people get like super polarized to one political side. I don't trust either one of them. They're both lie. Both sides lie. I just don't like either one of them. I'm not gonna root for it. Like it's my football team. I got better stuff to do. You know. What's your prediction for the Fed rate hike? I mean, we're going to raise rates 25 basis points, almost certainly. Now, it's never 100%, but it's very probable. Now, the question, number one, that's probably already baked in. But the bigger influence is going to be Jerome Powell speaking and what he says, what his tone is, what his plan is for the rest of this year, what his expectations are for the rest of this year. That's what's going to matter the most. Oh, dude, my stomach is in freaking knots, man. I don't know what is wrong with my stomach the last few days. I got a hiatal hernia in my stomach, man. I've had it for years. I had an endoscopy a couple years ago. And so I got a hiatal hernia in my stomach, man. And last 3 days, my stomach has just been in freaking knots, dude. All knows about rate hikes. What is special if it pauses? If it pauses, it's going to go wildly against expectations, which is just unlikely. Looks to me as if some companies on the NASDAQ exist only to emit shares and dilute. I guess if a company has no product, no plan in the bag, hold as the product and profits. Yeah, for sure. And a lot of the time they talk retail into holding them too. So like what ultimately happens a lot is these companies are founded, right? Again, I'm going to give this example because it's an important one to understand, like Mullen. Right. And I'm going to preface this with, I'm not saying the CEO of Mullen does any of this stuff or insiders in Mullen do any of this stuff, but I think companies are founded. And I think originally they're founded because they want to succeed and they think they have a good chance of succeeding. But I think over time, competition arises. They realize that they're not really going to be able to compete like that. And so they understand the end result of being listed publicly is that most of the time it's going to end with bankruptcy. Most of the time the company's going to fail. Right. And so I think the CEOs at a certain point in that public company's life recognize that, and they understand. They're like, okay, well, I can pump this stock up and then sell all of my shares and write off with millions, or I can just sit here and hold something that is almost certainly going to fail and not make any money from it. And I think a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, the company or the CEO chooses to pump up the company and unload shares into the following, so that they can at least make a couple million. That's probably what happens in a bunch of these companies that pump and dump. Is like the company is past the point of return where they think they'll ever be able to succeed, and so instead they just kind of pump it up, sensationalize the pump, talk retail into buying, and then unload shares at the top. Or they just dilute themselves with offerings and just rinse and repeat that until they're no more, and they make bonuses or whatever they choose to pay themselves. That happens a lot too. And a lot of the time retail just falls for it. And retail is so loyal to these companies, mostly because they're just stuck in them, right? That retail ends up just getting really emotional about it. But that's what happens, I can't say, I'm not saying any individual company, I'm not accusing any individual company or CEO of doing that, but I think that's a very self-evident thing. Yeah, biotech's definitely like that. Might buy the dip in Microsoft today. I would normally, but I think I'm waiting for the FOMC meeting first to see if that says anything good first before I buy. Yeah, I'm obviously not talking about Tesla. Yeah, Google looks great, Beatrice. It does look great. So congrats on that trade. It's a great trade. Yeah, Pac West. It's not coffee. I diluted my coffee a lot. I put a lot of water in it. It's not coffee. Tesla filed for bankruptcy 6 years ago, and now look at Tesla. I understand that, and I think a lot of retail traders are just trying to justify holding on to crap. No offense, not talking about anybody here specifically. I just think a lot of retail traders are talking themselves into holding crap. But the argument of that, the argument of all stocks start off as penny stocks is not true at all. Most actual successful companies, look at like Meta, most of them IPO when they're immediately not small caps, right? So most really successful companies do not start off as small cap companies. Some do. Tesla did, as an example, but a majority of other ones did not start off as small cap companies. They IPO'd, and immediately after their IPO price, they were already hyped up enough during their IPO, because actual healthy companies don't wait and don't go public early just to go public, because going public too early is a sign of desperation. And so what most real successful companies like Meta, and there's so many more, do is they wait until they're really bringing in money and they have a lot of attention before they go public. And those are the ones that have the best chance of success long term. Sure, you're going to have a minority of successful companies today that went public or that were penny stocks at one point in time, but it's certainly not the majority of them. Yeah, maybe that's it, Shepard. I could try that too. Yeah, for sure, Justin. That's right. Yeah, I'm not talking about Tesla. I like Tesla as a company, obviously, but I'm not talking about Tesla. Tesla obviously doesn't do that. I'm not going to be staying on fully through the entire stream for the FOMC meeting. No, I'll end this stream, and then later on, I'll start the other. Probably around noon, I'll start the FOMC stream. %70 of public companies since 1970 are now zero. That's an interesting stat for sure. And again, I think people give these arguments like Tesla was once a penny stock to try to justify holding on to crap. And maybe you'll get lucky and hold one of the good ones that end up being successful, but the probabilities are very low against that, and highly probable that you'll just lose a bunch of money investing in the penny stock obscure companies. You know, and I think what happens to traders is like they don't have that much money, and so they hope that they can still trade, but you could buy 5 shares of Google and get better returns than buying 1,000 shares of a penny stock most of the time. You know what I mean? And so that's how people have to look at it. Yeah, exactly. Philippe. Hey, what's up, Rod? Respect for getting views when market liquidity is not really high. Yeah, we get a good amount of people here. Market liquidity is not high right now because everybody's apprehensive ahead of the FOMC meeting today and the rate hike decision at 2 p.m. So everybody's just kind of sitting on their hands. I've held over 20,000 in GameStop for almost 2 years. Am I crazy? Not really crazy per se. I guess it depends on what your average is. I'll tell you this: if your average is anything under $10 and you let the squeeze happen and didn't take some profit, I'm not gonna say you're crazy. I might say you're a little gullible. Because like what happened? Like, okay, so GameStop squeeze happened, right? I made money on the GameStop squeeze, but when GameStop got up to $500+ a share, I was telling everybody I'm probably about to sell. I was telling everybody that I thought it was a good idea to sell. And I had a lot of retail traders tell me I wasn't a true supporter of the movement. I didn't really believe. And it's just kind of like, don't let a bunch of people who are trying to pressure you to influence their own positions talk you into bag holding a company, especially if you're up huge percentages in that company. Like I was streaming the GameStop squeeze and we had thousands of people there. And like a lot of them turned on me because I thought it might be a good move to take some profit at the $500+ level. And in hindsight, I was absolutely correct. We have never gotten anywhere close to that since. But again, people are emotional, I'll tell you this: diamond handsing speculative companies is not typically a good move. It's not typically a good strategy. So like people trying to shame me and others for not diamond handsing GameStop, and I don't know if that's the biggest diss they think it is. You know what I mean? And I like GameStop. I hope they do well, but it's freaking GameStop, man. Like video games are going out, the physical downloads of video games are dropping. Like, people just don't buy physical copies of video games as much as they used to. And so that's not good for GameStop. They've got to find another business avenue to go through. And I don't know what they're going to do. Teledoc? I don't like Teledoc either. You could diamond hands Apple or Disney or Amazon or Google or Microsoft or Walmart. You know what I mean? Like you can diamond hands established blue chip companies. Sure, that's fine. The biggest edge you'll ever have is holding those companies long term, in my opinion. Right? That's the biggest edge you'll ever have. The easiest money to make in the market is holding those long term. But you should never diamond hands mid caps or speculative stocks that are risky, that are not super established or that don't have the best long term trend. should never diamond hands those. That's a recipe to destroy your account and lose your life savings. But again, there's so much pressure coming from retail. And the ironic part about GameStop is like GameStop had a terrible corporate culture that was really terrible to their employees. They would give them unreasonable profit targets, and then when they didn't hit it, they would fire them and lay them off. They were just a terrible corporate culture. So for retail traders to come out and say, hey, let's pump that stock up to show big business, is hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. I wouldn't be surprised if GameStop was actually the people that orchestrated this squeeze as like a plan. I really wouldn't be shocked at that, to be honest. But again, the real question with GameStop is what happens to them. All right, so there's building permit data. Let's see what they say. Building permit data showed up today at... So building permits are out. They showed up at... $1.441 million, so basically flat on building permits, and the market hasn't really reacted to it. 1.44 million expected. They showed 1.441 million, so basically as expected for building permits. Not the biggest release. We still got new home sales at 10 a.m. So we still got new home sales at 10. Yeah, Teladoc is interesting. I just think there's a lot of competition for them currently as well. Signed up for Chart Prime, put you in referral, but I can't get the indicators to show up. I mean, typically with those indicators, you're going to have to go to... You pull it up, you go to indicators, and then you go to invite only scripts at the very bottom, and you should see chart primes. All right, we're starting to get a little bounce back, though. Yeah, I mean, what I noticed very quickly, Anthony, is that most of the time, anybody that tells you to buy anything is biased by their own positions, right? And misery loves company. They really do. And so there might be some type of contentment in seeing other people make the same mistakes that they do. Again, misery loves company. And so you get a lot of people, and I see them a lot in this live stream, that are like, hey, guys, CEI is the next great company in the world. BBIG is going to the moon, guys. And it's like, these people really have no idea if it's going to. They're just so nervous about their own positions that they're going from room to room pumping those stocks, right? And with people out in public as well, like, you're going to get people that tell you to just buy total crap. Again, why? Is because they're biased in their favor. It's confirmation bias. They hope it goes up, so they think it's just the strongest thing ever. The large majority of the time, those companies are crap, though. Yeah, SIMO with a crazy almost 100% squeeze. What's up, George? They'd spend less time going room to room than just learning the market. Yeah, for sure. They do. Again, most people are going to have better value just kind of learning how to swing trade and invest. RTX. Did RTX ever bounce? It did bounce, but it bounced at a pretty low level at 81.30s. Also, guys, if you haven't checked out MooMoo, again, you open up an account on MooMoo, you get 5 free stocks. If you deposit at least $100, if you open up an account and deposit at least $1,000, you get 15 free stocks. You open up an account and deposit over $5K, you get the previous 15 plus a free share of Google or Tesla. And again, they have free earnings calendar. I can go to economic data right here and see all the big stuff dropping in North America, which is really useful. 30-year mortgage rate today. It'll show you all the stuff, building permits today, new home sales. And so I'm using this to find out a lot of stuff. I can also see the biggest headlines and news. See, they give you this really nice before the bell section. And this is a free platform also. Their Paperfolio allows you to follow other traders, see what their portfolio is, see what they're holding. You can see this person on the month is up 30%. I can go to the daily gains as well, see who's up the most daily total as well. This person's up 17%. And you can kind of go from portfolio to portfolio and following traders. You can also go to this explore section right here, and you can see a free heat map. I can build a free scanner and specify for PE ratio. I can go to the best performing sectors. I can look at pre-market and see some really good data here. Hot stocks, just a lot of stuff. Divvy payouts, futures, announcements. There's just a lot of stuff to do, and there's zero commission stock trades, and they're open the entire time in pre-market. So very useful. If you want to check them out, they are a sponsor. They are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor for sure, but they're very useful. So check them out here. I've lost 20K in the last year trying to learn how to trade. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to lose that much. Again, if you're trying to learn to day trade, do a funded account program. That's what you want to learn. Don't buy a course for 5K. Don't waste that money. Again, the people who have already taken those courses are going to tell you they're the greatest courses of all time, of course, right? Pun intended, I guess. They're going to say they're the greatest courses of all time. You know, you spend 5K on a course, bro, that's the greatest course I've ever taken. You know, but most of that stuff you can find for free out there on the internet. And again, experience is going to trump any course. Like trading yourself, figure out what strategies work for your own personality are going to be the right move. And again, the funded account programs and futures, I'm biased because Top Step's a sponsor of mine, but I really wish I had something like this when I first started to learn day trading, because I lost like 4K in my first week, in my first few weeks day trading. I was on a platform called SureTrader, which is an overseas platform. If you're old enough and been trading long enough, you might remember it. But the funded account programs are useful because you just lose less money than you would. Most day traders lose, right? So you can either put up thousands yourself and risk that, or you can try a funded account program in futures. There's no PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P. You can day trade the NASDAQ. You can day trade currencies. You can day trade gold and silver. And the patterns on something like the S&P 500 or the SPY, which is called the E-mini in futures, is very similar patterns to like Apple or Amazon or Disney, but there's no PDT rule. And again, what they do is they give you a demo. They test your skill. I'm going to do a shameless plug here because we're talking about it. But again, it really is useful for traders where you have limited risk. If you lose, it's $49. If you can pass it, you get 90% split and you get to keep your first 10K. And they're the most legit one in the world. They pay out millions every year and fund thousands in actual withdrawals every year. So check them out if you want to help support your boy here. They're $49 on sale right now. How many hours until the meeting? I can put a timer up, but I'm pretty sure it's like... Right now it is 8:30. We got until 2. So 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. So we got 5 hours and 50. We got 5 hours and 51 and a half minutes. 15 hours. I don't want 15. No. 5 hours. There we go. So 2:30. So we got 5 hours and 51 minutes into the actual meeting. Visa. Visa drops theirs Thursday, I think. Or at least MasterCard does. I don't know when Visa does. Let's see. Oh, Visa's already out. They dropped theirs yesterday on Tuesday. They reported in line with expectations. Yeah, it's almost certainly going to be 25 basis points. Yeah. I don't know anything about that, Batman. So there's Boeing. I'm going to put Tesla up in the middle. Boeing, pretty good day so far, man. Powell will be dovish later. Okay, so we just made a little bit more on this main account here. We're up about $180. A little bit less than 200. Meta and Google. Mostly shorting the market just now. PACW still consolidating here. We got about 45 minutes until the market opens. All right, guys. So we get Pac West getting acquired by the Bank of Cali here. Yeah, new home sales at 10. See, the market still turns down. The market's been mostly consolidating on the downside here. Stuff like Boeing has moved up a little bit, though. Gonna give it time, though. Market seems to be downtrending some. The trash, guys. I remember to take my trash out today. That's a beautiful thing. All right, watching the NASDAQ pretty closely here. All right, so we're up about 240 on the day. So we're about halfway there, to be honest. All right. About 240. 230, actually. Sorry, 230. Exactly. mostly trading the NASDAQ, and I realized like I could trade the E-mini. The E-mini is so choppy that like it's not going to work. The NASDAQ is kind of what I want to trade. Again, the plan for today is to trade with the trend. Trade with the trend. All right, so 230 on the day. SPY starting to test towards the bottom of the range. Tesla bouncing up a little bit, but market's starting to break down some, honestly. Let's see if the SPY continues down here. Again, it's been in a red action mostly this morning. NASDAQ's been flushing down too. Getting some volatility here. Market bouncing up a little bit. All right, so we are flushing down in the market a little bit more. See if the NASDAQ continues on the downward trend. Again, the SPY is breaking lows. So you can see the SPY testing this bottom range here ahead of it. We still got a 12 minutes or so until the market opens. 12 minutes. All right, so we built it up to where we are up about $374, almost $400, roughly $400 right now. And I'm watching my last NASDAQ trade. I want to see if it breaks down some more here for me. We need about $300 left, about 300 bucks. And I think I'm going to let this one contract at the NASDAQ work until the end. And because if I get a much larger breakdown here, then we're going to be sitting pretty good. But if it starts to go break even on me, then I'm just going to cut it flat, which it's started to test now. But again, we're up about 4 on the day. Getting pretty close, man. We were so close yesterday, and then we had one bad trade with like $300 left. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut that. So yeah, we are now up $350 on the day after that last trade. So again, $350. We need about $800. So we're getting close. Yeah, 42 minutes. Sorry, what did I say? Sorry, I'm in the middle of a trade, so I mostly just trade the E-mini and NASDAQ. Those are the ones I know the most. Yeah, just kind of attacking the NASDAQ. I've been having much better results on the NASDAQ than I have on the S&P or the SPY. I'm really about $500 away. I can make $500. I'm pretty much there. Yeah, 2 p.m. is when they announced the rate hike decision. The NASDAQ does hold trends really nicely too. And so as long as we can keep holding these trends in the NASDAQ, even if they're on the downside, I'll be okay with that. NASDAQ flushing down. SPY just cracked lows here. Tesla breaking down under 263.30. Am I seeing it right? The SPY looks like an ascending wedge for me. Still trying to get my coffee in. On what time frame do you see the wedge? Tilray dropped earnings today. They are ripping up there at 207 right now. Should have held that short on the NASDAQ, man. It kept dropping. Nice, Justin. It really is hard to stream and do these things too. Like, the reason it's taken me so long is because it's like I traded pre-market, but the best time trading for me is at like 10 a.m. market time, 10:30 market time. And usually I'm done streaming by then. And so, and by the time I'm done streaming, I'm just freaking tired by the end of it, man. I really am. I'm just burnt by the end of it. So like, it just takes a while whenever you're tired doing it. You know what I mean? But the NASDAQ's still flushing down here. The way I've been using it to get funded is I've been building up a cushion. There's two ways I do it. I build up a cushion, and then once I have a cushion, I take larger size on the next trade. Or sometimes I build up a cushion and let it break down really in my favor with like a couple contracts. And then if I'm really deep in the profit on that one specific trade and we get like a bounce back, then I short more into it, or I add more to it on the short side, and then take some larger risks while I'm in the trade as well. That works pretty nice too. Yeah, running the channel is just some long days, man. Where it's like by the time I close the stream down, I don't want to sit there and trade longer, honestly. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing good, Tiny. The NASDAQ is what I like riding the trend into. It's got a much bigger range, though, is the only thing. Good flush under that low. We've had so much weak action right now. Market's been looking pretty weak. SPY been breaking down. Tilray still looking okay at 205s. It's Tesla. Watch like Apple too, I think. Whew. Catching a nice breakdown just now in another account too. All right, so we're up about 200 in another one. John, do you have any more streamers anymore, or plan to take some off that, or plan to take some of that off? I know you're tired after these. Respect. No, man, I'm gonna do it all myself, bro. I just don't want anybody else to stream with me. It's just too stressful. Like, again, you know, I'll bring people on the show, and you know, most of like to put it into perspective, we've had like 30 plus guests that we've had off and on beginner trading. You know what I mean? So it's not like, but I think whenever I ask somebody to be on the show, a lot of the time they'll start to think that they're going to be regulars now. Or they'll start to think that I'm going to hire them to be a co-host or something like that. And most of the time I'm just looking for variety and what we talk about. I'm never going to share equity of beginner trading with anybody ever. You know, I'm never going to give equity to anybody ever. I've just had too much, you know, it's just not worth it. I can run basically the whole community myself with Pawn's help on the back end, you know. But yeah, and I noticed like when I would bring guests on, like we would cover these things and then we'd get like a big drop in viewers. Like I'd have guests on that would do their own shows, and then we'd lose like 70% of our viewers when the guests came on the show. And so what I learned very quickly is that people are mostly just watching me or wanting to watch me. They're not really wanting to watch these other guys. And I think sometimes streaming can get kind of addicting. It's fun. It's exciting. You know, people are nice most of the time. It might be a little intimidating at first, but like after you learn it, it's kind of like this exciting, fun thing that people like to do. And I think all of that makes people have hope that I'm going to like share the channel with them, which I would just never do. It just doesn't make any logical business sense for me to do that. So at this point in time, no, I don't really have any plans to bring on any more guests again. You know, just not worth it. Just signed up for the combine. Any advice on how to get funded quickly? I mean, you can make up to 50% of profit per day. So if you're in the 50K combine, your goal is $1,500 net profit. You do that 2 days in a row. So, I mean, to a certain extent, there's a couple strategies you could take. You could open up an account and then just swing big. And then if you lose, just get another one until you hit 1,500. And then you got a pretty good chance of swinging big on a couple accounts the next day. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. Yeah, my glorious beard too, man. Honestly, I've been thinking about shaving this beard off, bro. I don't know, man. I'm not sure there, bro. Yeah, I don't know. If you made over 50%, I'm not sure what you should do in that regard, bro. All right, so account number 2. We got some pretty good cushion. And one of them we got 312. The other one we got 350. So far, so good trading the NASDAQ. Makes sense. Plus, I mean, kind of hard to get anyone on that top 3 in the world level. Yeah. Definitely top 3. The biggest problem with guests is that they go off topic too easily. You know what I mean? And like, I go off topic. I'm like the king of that. But I guess I have less patience when other people do it. So like, I'd rather just. Yeah, my beard doesn't grow that quickly. Speaking of off topic. Tesla back at 263s here. SPY still weak. Look at the SPY. Breaking down. All right, guys, we're going to get ready to trade. Nvidia back at 450s. All right, we're going to get ready to trade. Mostly been attacking the NASDAQ this morning. Oh, I mean, you could come on the channel if you ever want to, Relentless. Yeah, let me rephrase that. Guests can come on the show, but they have to be other I'll obviously bring on relatively big like YouTube channels. Like Relentless, you ever want to come on the show, just holler at me, man. I got you. I'm just talking about like others, you know, like non-YouTuber guests, of course. I don't know if I'm going to trade the FOMC. We'll see. I'll probably wait until the FOMC comes out and then do something. But I'm trading beforehand for sure. And I've been trading beforehand. Again, here's one. Here's two. Here's the NASDAQ. We've mostly been focusing on the NASDAQ today. I got 7 subs. Can we work? Bring it up to about 7K. And sure. Paulo, good morning, John. And all meta seems that will give good trading ops today. Maybe. Do you still do your crypto show? Yeah, we do our crypto show. All right, we got to bounce up here. And the NASDAQ. I'm going to take one contract short here on the NASDAQ. It might be kind of risky. I'll get up to, oh, there we go. See if we break all the way back down to that bottom range level. We're about flat right now. And I don't like that move at all. I'm going to cut that. I don't like that move at all. It might actually work out for me. I just don't like that move. I don't like the fact that we started to break down and then we were chased all the way back to the top. That means some buy orders came in. I might just kind of chill and wait until the opening bell. There's Nvidia on the bottom. Tesla's still flushing down a little bit here. Hey, thanks, Relentless. All good, bro. Sounds good, man. Triple top incoming. Maybe. It's definitely not a new record. I would have worked too. I think it would have worked. It did break down afterwards too, so I think it would have worked. I should have stayed in it. All right, guys, 25 minutes. We could short it now too. Let me see. If we get a little bounce up, we'll short it. Only if we get a little bounce up. There's a little bounce up. Ah, bad fill. I might have to add to this one. I've already got a cushion on the day here, so I'm less worried about it. There's the bounce up. All right, so there's the add. We already got a cushion of $200 on this account for the day, so no bueno. I'm gonna add one more here just because we have that cushion on the day. But then now I'm gonna be very tight with the rest. The market's already down a lot, so like I don't really want to get stuck in yeah, this is not good at all. We're gonna cut it and get out. We're mostly flat on this account now, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, we're still up. We're up about $100 still, so that's fine. We took our risk with big size. It ended up going up against us. I know what? I'm basically trying to trade the NASDAQ only right now. All right, so the NASDAQ is starting to run back a little bit. All right, so the NASDAQ bounced up a little. We'll let it consolidate, see if it turns, see if it holds. Pac West starting to fall. Pulling back a little bit. Big bounce back up here. So maybe the trend is done. I don't know. Yeah, so the NASDAQ did bounce back up a little bit. Nvidia is basically what's dragging it up, I think. And I think this is important to watch. Nvidia is up a lot. Look at Nvidia skyrocket here. It's got to be news related. Ugh, that hurts, dude. I was up nicely in my account. I just took a $500 loss on the one that was close to getting funded too. I mean, I'm only down 120 on the day now, but man, freaking Nvidia news came out. I didn't see it. And so I was betting on that downward trend, dude. Oh, man, it hurts. It hurts. Why is Nvidia flying up randomly all of a sudden, though? Definitely kind of messes with my mental capital on the day for sure. So I'll probably take at least 5 minutes to trade again. But yeah, I'm trying to see what news came out for Nvidia. Amazon, Twilio deepen their relationship. Bumble introduces Bumble for Friends. Bank of America finds 75% of mid-sized businesses expect revenue to increase in the next 12 months. PayPal and Microsoft expanded their relationship. Coca Cola said inflationary pressures are beginning to moderate. Yeah, maybe Microsoft news is pushing it up a little bit. I think the NASDAQ, you got to look at the broader trend here. We've been in this broader trend for the entire day. Nvidia and OpenAI to create advanced AI model that connects 10 million GPUs together. That must be the news that came out. Yeah, I knew it was something. All right, so Nvidia's starting to flush down a little bit on the NASDAQ some more. Let's see if NASDAQ keeps falling. I see the SPY dipping down some too. Is it the 10 million GPU service side tied to crypto? I think so. There goes Nvidia slumping down. Well, we brought ourselves back to green on the day. Tilray news, please. Tilray dropped earnings today. That's what they're up for, is earnings. So yeah, Tilray earnings dropped. That's what they're up on, is earnings. I think they did better than expected for EPS and sales. But thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. There we go. Riding this breakdown short. Back up to $200+ on the day on the account that matters. We are currently sitting in this position short, riding the NASDAQ down some more like I wanted to. Big breakdown. And so we just made another 100. So we're back to where we were. Whew, nerve-wracking here, man. We got this trend drawn here. You can see this longer-term trend that we have on the chart. So again, like I said, today we're attacking trends, and we brought our EPS graph up to where, or we brought our graph up to where we're up 300 on the day. Prior to today, we are up on this account specifically right now. Let me make sure it's the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah, we are up right now in this account. $2,300. So this is $2,600. Right, so we need about $400 left plus commission. So I would say about $600 more in gains to hit the goal. We got 15 minutes left until the open. We'll see if we can do it. If you haven't already, check out TopStep, man. Again, TopStep funded program for futures is the most legit way to day trade if you don't have that much equity. They fund traders, and they're the most legit one in the world. They've been around for over a decade, and they pay out millions in actual withdrawals every year and fund thousands a year. They're useful because it allows you to limit your risk when you're learning to day trade. So if you lose, you're down $49, but if you can pass it, you still get a 90% split. So you get kind of the best of both worlds. You still have some pressure on you to succeed, but not the full extent of a live account where you're risking thousands. And the futures market has no PDT rule. You can day trade short the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and futures, and there's no PDT restrictions there. So that's why most pro traders day trade futures. So you can check out the link right here. I'm not super nervous. I mean, honestly, bro, like the reality of it is a TopStep combine is $49, man. I got like a bunch of them right now. You know, they're cheap. So, you know, $49. I'm not super nervous about it. I'd like to get funded this week. I know I'll get funded inevitably, but I'd like to get funded this week. So that's what that's the only pressure I'm putting on myself. And my 150K combine is halfway there, so we're up about 4,500 on that one. So like, we'll see if we can make pushes today and tomorrow on that one as well. But really, on TopStep, I just need one good trade, man. About one more good trade left, and we should have it. Bruce gets so excited when he eats. All right, guys, 13 minutes until the opening bell. Yeah, I mean, for me, I've got more than that, man. I've got so many different accounts here. Up or down the first hour? I don't know, man. I might be a little quiet today because, again, we're kind of working in the background. Spinning top PHL. Yeah, we got 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes until the opening bell, team. You guys up or down today so far, team? Let me know. NASDAQ looking weak. Still flushing down. All right, guys. So, hey, we are up about 550. This is a clown. So close. We need about $300. One $300 gain. I don't know if I'm going to push it too close to the opening bell. We've been mostly shorting these little pops. So, again, if I'm quiet, my apologies. But so far, we've got about 520 in this account. So we got $800 gross on the last 1,000. So we need about $200 gross, but net, we're going to need about $400 or $500, I think. So one more big trade, we should get there. And we got the good thing is that we got a nice cushion on the day. So like even if we're back to square one, we could always have a chance to start over. It's unlikely that I'm going to lose, you know, as long as I don't take too big of size. I think the key here is to take small like scalps. I think taking a couple $150, like take a $200 or $350 scalps could get me there. So I think that's what we're looking at doing right now. We got 8 minutes until the opening bell. 8 minutes. We'll see if we get there or not. Again, I'm gonna have to wait until yeah, here's the graph today. It's kind of a fun graph, but again, we're not taking too much risk. We're only taking large size when we have a cushion, and that's why my graph looks like this. You can see the most we were ever down today was 150. That's the most we were ever down today. And so it's because we're building up a cushion, taking large risks, building up a cushion. We got one more large risk to take. I don't think we have to take a large risk anymore, though. I think we're close enough now to where we can get a couple good little scalps in and be done. Yeah, I was shorting the NASDAQ, so it's kind of like shorting the SPY. All right, Nvidia is still pushing up, though. That's the only thing that has me nervous here. We still got 7 minutes before the open. Again, I got to wait for a good trend and just attack that trend, man. That's what I got to do. All right, so we're bouncing up a little bit. Let me make sure this account's the right one. Okay. Yeah, I just think it's really important to focus on one account at a time. I think when I start to get mixed up with multiple, it's where the risk is. So I think I'm probably just going to take like one contract and try to take a longer term position here. That or scalps. Like I could do, I don't know. I could take up to 2 contracts, I think, with the amount of profit I have on the day so far. Let me see what my account balance actually is. So hold on. Okay. So net, my account is currently at $2,640 in profit. So I need to make $460 net. So I need about $500 for the last trade, about $500. So again, I could probably get that with two $250 scalps, you know, $250 scalps, or two $250 scalps. I could do $500 scalps. I could do 3 somewhere in the middle. So again, we're close. We're close. We got a 2.75 to 1 risk factor here. Part of me wants to short this little bounce, but make sure I'm not taking big size with it. I mean, that would be a continuation of the trend, but I think I'm going to wait for the opening bell and I'm going to let some time pass before I trade actively. Up 135 pre-market. Nice, Fred. What are your best symbol in a falling market? Inverse SPY or something like that. Backs of losing traders. Yeah, I mean, you can see my graph here. You know, I'm not sure if you're trying to subtly call me a losing trader. Maybe I'm just paranoid. But again, you guys can kind of see my graph here if it'll load. Hold on, let me make sure this is the right one. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's my graph. I was about to say if it's not loading. But yeah, here's my graph. You know, so that's my graph so far in this one since July 17th, about 10 days. Win-loss factor of 3.67 to 1. Total drawdown total was $520. Nvidia breaking up here. That's the only risk of shorting right now is Nvidia pushing up. Yeah, I got to be careful. I don't want to push too hard. Without any volume on your charts, there's no way you're finding anything meaningful. I have 4 big monitors that I'm using that you guys can't see. Here, hold on, baby. They can see you right now.
Is it muted?
No. All right, sorry, I'm back. All right, so a little bounce up ahead of the opening bell. We got about 2 minutes left. Yeah, again, we're pretty close. Netflix today. What do you guys think? Netflix up or down? Part of me wants to short this, to be honest. If I'm looking at a 5-minute NASDAQ chart, this looks short. And look, there's the freaking drop. Ugh, I got to go with my intuition, man. There's the drop. Should have taken my intuition, man. You guys heard me right before that drop. I was like, hey, this looks like a short. And then boom. Ugh. It's all good. All right, there's the drop. Here's the opening bell at about a minute left, guys. We got 1 minute. All right, you guys ready? I would short this too. This looks short as well, but the market's opening in less than a minute, and I just don't trust it. So unless I'm going to take a trade that's under a minute and then risk it not going. Again, I'm going to take 1 contract at the NASDAQ. I'm going to try to get 2 $250 trades, maybe 4 $125 trades to hit the $500 I need. Really, I only need about 460 to hit that, to hit the goal of 3K. All right, so here's the opening bell, guys. Good luck, team. All right, so there's some drops. Retracements back up. Get open in volatility. I'm going to hang out here and just wait. All right, big spike up. Glad I didn't short prior to the open. This is why the opening bell can just be incredibly volatile. Nvidia break it down some. Look at Tesla ramp up at the opening bell as well. It's at 263s, retracing pretty quickly, but then popped right back up here. The NASDAQ specifically has had a huge tear, a huge upward move with Microsoft at the opening bell. Microsoft, let's see what else is moving. But a lot of green bullish action at the opening bell. Apple pumped up as well at 194s. Will it break 200 today? It could. Big pullback in the NASDAQ, and while I'm tempted to take this position, look at this move, man. Huge breakdown on the NASDAQ, flushing down all the way. Looks weak. Everything else starting to turn, except for Microsoft, which is still green on the day. Apple coming all the way back down. This looks like a short right here, but I don't know. And there's the flush back down, so hey. I got to start going with my intuition. NASDAQ breaking down. I'm going to let it settle, though. Nvidia diving down here. Again, I'm down about $14 on Snapchat. I'll let $10 be my risk. Apple just tapped up highs, man. Look at this drop, dude. Wow. Again, I'm going to let the opening bell play out. I'm not going to attack anything super heavy at the open. Blue chips start to turn. Apple breaking highs, though. So Apple's the one large cap stock that could drag the market back up if it starts to go on a huge run. GPS might be trapping some shorts at pre-market highs. This is what I usually short into, but the NASDAQ is so volatile and risky, man. Let's take one contract here short. All right, so we just made another $70 or so on the day. It's a piece of it. Up about 600 gross account balance. Currently at, we need $300 net, guys. $300 net. Nvidia dumping down, dragging the whole market down here. Huge red action here, guys. A little bit too extended on the downside for my taste here, so I'm waiting. Apple turned completely, though, so that was the last blue chip that was really helping the market here. So red action might sustain. Let's watch. I'm short. Again, I'll take up to 2 contracts here. I'd really love a flush breakdown, though. All right, so we just made another $100. Again, scalping today, guys. We're up. We need $200, less than $200 now, net. It might not be net, though. I'm going to short this. And then add another piece to it. There's 200 or 2 contracts short. Took half off there, locked it in. Could add it back to. Such a weak move at the opening bell. The little piggyback off of this move. See, we get a flush breakdown is what we want. All right, we just caught another. I don't know if this is gross or net. It says my account balance. We need $60. If I get one more like $150, $200 gain, we should be good. It looks like we're going to crack lows. Maybe not. It's a risky short position I just took. We're so close to lows of the day. All right, we took 2 contracts here short. All right, guys. I think we just did it. We did it. All right, we hit our $3,000 profit target. We did it. Stressful, but we did it. We got funded. That is it. Sheesh, man. What a stressful day. Yeah, listen, I had to get just a little small piece. All right, we're going to pivot over to our other accounts now that we are funded. Here is the full graph of the day so far. And this should be it, because in this account today, we made $950. In this account today, we made $950. That is it. We are net over $3,000 in profit. That is it. We are funded on this account. Freak, man. Ugh. Took so long, man. So long. But there we go. We did it. We're going to pivot over to another account. We got like 150K combine. That's about halfway there. So we got 150K combine. We're about halfway there. We're going to pivot over to that one and play with that one now and get some trades done under that one. So give me a second. Let me switch one over to that one, figure out which one it is, and then switch. We got a couple different ones, actually. Yeah, so again, we are absolutely funded because this account started the day off at... So we started the day off in this account at $2,300 in profit, right? We just made almost $1,000. And so net-wise, we are net over $3K in profit for sure. All right, so that's count one. I just got to make sure I don't accidentally trade on this one again. We're going to go over to our 50K combine, but I actually got another 50K one. Let me find it. So here's 80. All right, so let's... Give me a second, guys. We are going to have to pull up this next one. I just want to make sure that we're not trading under that account too. All right, so this next account is 150K combine. Again, let me make sure we are actually under it right now. Or no, this next one is just another 50K combine. I'll play with the other one later. I want to see if I can get funded on 2 50Ks. All right, so yeah, there's that one. I think we actually have a cushion on this one of the day too, so I'm gonna keep playing with this. Yeah. All right. Make sure we're there. We're there. All right. So one funded account so far today. We got a little bounce up. I'm gonna short into this. It looks like a little flag pattern. All right. There's $50. Longer term short, $100. I'm just going to cut that there. Just build up that cushion. Again, the goal of the day is to build up the cushion. Today in this account so far, we're up about 200. If you don't know what a funded account is, I'm using Top Step. They're a sponsor of mine. But Top Step is a funded program for futures. So they're going to give you a 50K demo. This is the base one. There's also a 150K one. The 50K demo, the 50K combine is what it's called. It's a challenge. You got to hit 3K in profit without losing over 2K, right? You can do that. If you can do that while following their rules, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first $10,000 in profit. And it's really good because like the futures market, what you see me day trading here is the S&P 500. You know, I'm day trading I'm day trading the NASDAQ, but there's no PDT rule. It moves just like the SPY or the NQ. Or the other markets, but there's no PDT rule, and the patterns are very similar. And so again, if you want to check them out, they are a sponsor of mine. It's the cheapest way to get your feet wet in trading without taking on too much risk. Here's the link if you want to check it out. All right, so big rebound back up here. Tesla's dragging the market back up. Nvidia's still looking weak, but since we're kind of middle range right now, I'm going to wait. Since we're kind of middle range, we had our big bear move. All right, again, we're gonna let things settle. I don't know if I like any of this action. All right. All right, so we got this count up as well. Yeah, so far in the life of that combine account prior to me getting funded, this is my profit graph up to this point. So I ran about 70% accuracy. Here's my profit graph up to yesterday too. And so here's what my profit graph looked like in that funded program. So we ran like this. Basically exactly what you want to see. And then today we finally broke it like that. Basically exactly what you want to see. Again, we ran about 70% accuracy. Daily accuracy. So we won out of 7 out of 10 days. So that's good. Now what I'm honestly looking forward to is scaling down my size, man. I just don't think you need to trade super large. And I think once you're funded, it's smart to scale down, take small calculated risks. Cannabis bill coming. I know Tilray had some news. Again, we're middle range right now on the NASDAQ. The bearish move is done, so we're just kind of sitting tight. I told you guys I would get funded in the next couple weeks, and I did. Again, I mean, you guys got to understand my bias. Like, my TOS account got about 30K. My MooMoo account's got 20-something thousand in it. Like, I don't really need to get funded, but I wanted to do it just because people kept telling me I couldn't, you know. They kept saying I couldn't get funded or whatever it was. And, like, again, if I really dedicate time to it, I will, you know, but... So we got a little pullback here, but again, we're too middle range for me to be interested in it. I can see Tesla looking like a cup and handle pattern up there. Yeah, I mean, I think if you really want to get funded, like if you don't have the equity that I do, and like funding is something that you need to do because you just don't have like the 20 plus thousand you need to day trade actively. I think again, if you can learn from my like what I did here, you know, if you can learn from what I did, um, again, if you can learn from what I did, if you look at my actual graph throughout this process, right? Like you can kind of see today, for instance, a day where I needed to pull in like $1,000 net, you know, or $1,000 gross, right? Which we hit basically. I had a 3-to-1 win-loss ratio, but also I never was down big on the day ever today. And that was the plan. I didn't want to give back the gains I made yesterday. And so I would build up a cushion and then I would increase my size. And then the first time I did it, I lost. I came right back down. But even though I lost here, what would have been a $600-700 drawdown that got me close to the daily max loss was only about 150 here. So I only was down about 150 bucks if you look at that right there. And so then again, what did we do? We took some time, we built up another cushion on the day, and then we increased size more. And so that's the way you stay safe. You build up a cushion, you take larger risk. You build up a cushion, you take larger risk. You don't have to build up a cushion. You could get really green in a trade. Say you're up $300 unrealized with 2 contracts. That's when you can add another contract or 2 and increase your size with less risk, right? And that's what I did today as well. So I think learning to do that's the correct way to do risk management in something like this, you know. Yeah, definitely top 3. But what's the cannabis bill they're talking about? Senate committee chairman says marijuana banking bill actually won't get a vote this summer despite his goal. What's the bill? I don't know, man. I'm so tired of hearing politicians say that they're going to legalize it on both sides, and then they just never do, you know? And like, I think sometimes the politicians are intentionally putting out bills that they know the other side is not going to approve to keep it illegal because they're getting so much PAC money and political donations from pharmaceutical lobbyists and prison industry. Unfortunately, is how it goes. That's really what happens. The biggest anti-cannabis lobbying group in the world is a company called Abbott Laboratories. They're actually a public company. They donate to both political sides a lot of money. You know, so if you want to know why it's possible to legalize cannabis, but yet somehow both sides of the political spectrum don't, that's why. All right, so again, we're middle ground. We've been basically going up and down for 5 minutes. Yeah, it's a good company. I mean, it makes money, you know, but it's a pharmaceutical company, which is ironic because, you know, what that means is that pharmaceutical companies are determining whether cannabis is illegal or not. And that is a huge conflict of interest. It's kind of like McDonald's criminalizing Burger King, you know? Like, that's essentially what it is. And it's unfortunate. And then you still got like old age propaganda of like stuff where like cannabis is objectively less harmful than alcohol. That's just an obvious objective truth, right? Physical withdrawal symptoms, all that stuff. Cannabis is much less harmful. Yet people are delusional about it. And, you know, I'm not going to go on about it, but yeah, it's crazy. All right, so again, we're very sideways, and I think I stopped trading right at the right time because look at this. neutral. We're right middle range of the day. Here's the opening bell. We broke down a lot and we bounced back, and now we're basically flat. So at this point in time, we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know whether we're going to go up. We don't know whether we're going to break down. And there's not really any huge edge there. So I just got to sit. Cannabis takes away ambition. I know, but that argument is such a insignificant argument in the grand scheme of things, Bill. You know what I mean? Like, who cares if it does, bro? So does gummy worms. Okay, like if you're telling me alcohol doesn't take away ambition, bro. See somebody that's truly addicted to alcohol and see how ambitious they can ultimately be. All right, honestly, think about it. Like alcohol is this really terrible thing where it causes you to be addicted to something that makes you incredibly inebriated, not just mentally addicted, but physically addicted heavily, right? To where you have to drink every day or you get sick, right? Imagine how much ambition that takes away. Yet it's sold at gas stations. It's sold at liquor sold at gas stations. And yet that's fine. It's about even standard of legalization is what matters. Like, that's the reality. It needs to be even. If cannabis is illegal, so should alcohol. If alcohol is legal, so should cannabis. You know, it should go by toxicity, not by what the pharmaceutical industry wants. You know. Hey, what's up, Britt? Hey, my guy, man. Kronos, so CRON is located in Houston. I never do that, man. I'm in Houston. Or I'm in the Houston area, is what I'll say. Yeah. And it's like, I don't even do cannabis. It was always like, I was always way too paranoid every time I did it. So it was just not super enjoyable. You know what I mean? And so it's not like I'm just some pothead over here, you know, but the argument remains, even if I was, which I'm not, the argument's still there. Yeah, CRON. I know CRON. I know CRON, CGC, ACB. I know all the cannabis symbols. That's the reason I really keep up with this, is because I follow cannabis stocks. Again, market's starting to pop up a little bit. Tesla's really the one that's ripping up big here. I think both should be banned. I think that's such a restrictive government, though, V. I think you got to let people do whatever they want to do as long as it's not hurting other people. When the government starts to get involved and the government is getting lobbied by big corporations that have their own agenda, I think that's an issue. And I think because of that, you know, the best thing to do is just anything that the public is going to widely consume, regardless of legalization status, I think you should legalize as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. But that's a slippery slope. And I think even if you don't agree with that argument, I think you got to look at it in terms of objective toxicity, right? You got to look at it in terms of objective toxicity. And I think when you do, alcohol is far more toxic to the human body, both psychology-wise, psychologically, as well as physically, you know? And so the standard's not even in that regard as well, you know? Apple's still flat. Apple looks like a descending triangle right now. But it is technically green on the day for Apple. Oh, that's cool, man. I'm a capitalist. I just think we should legalize it and tax it. That's the right move. Yeah, 25 basis points is wildly expected here. It's almost certain. So 25 basis points is wildly expected. Again, it's almost certain. So I do see a bit of a turnaround here. If we get a big enough pullback, I'll buy it, or I guess I'll start buying the NASDAQ now. And then maybe add into a larger size position if we can, since we have a cushion on the day. And I'll probably take up to 3 contracts here and see if we get a little pop back up. But it's definitely not a sure thing trade. All right, well, sometimes when you're right, you're right. And let's let it keep going up. There we go. Took half off there, locked in a little bit just to protect the trade. I could also add it right back too if I want, if we dip enough. This is kind of getting a little bit more dippy of a dip. All right, so we're pretty down on this position now, unfortunately. I want to give it time to bounce back because I think it could, but if we crack lows here, I'm just going to have to cut it and be down about $300 on the day on this one. All right, now we're about flat on the day. All right, now we're slightly green on the day. Nvidia starting to turn. Tesla's starting to break highs though, and that was helping us for a second. But Apple really starting to flush down as the risk. You know, I'm gonna take half off here because I can. All right, so I'm gonna take half off there because I can. I'm just gonna limit my risk right now because I can, and take a relatively small loss. Yeah, I'm still up over 100 on the day, and I can try to let this one work a little bit longer just because I gotta have risk management, and I think taking at least a third of that position off, not a half, but a third of that position off, and then I make it right back on this bounce. But I think risk management is important to have, and I think if we run, we could run much farther, and so I can make it back on the rebound here. There we go. Just took another half off. There we go. All right, so we just got out. So yeah, we made it right back. We're back up to $300. Nicely green trade, and we did have risk management in the trade as well. All right, so we're up about 3 on this one. Ideally, I'd make about 1,000 or 2 on this. So again, we'll give it some time, but oh yeah, we have home sales in 2 minutes, guys. Tobacco is less harmful. Tobacco kills hundreds of thousands of people a year, V. I mean, I'm not sure what the argument there is, dude. I mean, tobacco is far more dangerous than any of the things that we've talked about, including alcohol. Tobacco kills, what, 400,000 people a year, man? I mean, I disagree, dude. You know? I mean, I think that's an obvious, like a very self-evident fact in terms of, you know, tobacco. Hey, bro, do you use stop losses? I use mental stops. All right, new home sales data coming out soon. Expectations are for 725,000. I'm not sure how much this is going to move markets. There's the data release. It came in at again, and I think the bias for people is in favor of things that new home sales came in at 697, lower than expected. 697,000 versus 725,000 expected. All right, I'm starting to see some bullish trends. I'm going to buy this now ahead of it and then add to it if it pulls back. right, so we got 3 contracts there. All right, just took 2/3 of the position off again, locked in some more. We're up about 400 on the day right now. We might actually add some back to this one if we need to. We might not need to though. Okay, let's try. All right, so we locked in some more. Give the rest a lot more room to bounce. All right, so we just made about over 500. We are up about 505 on the day. So we're halfway there for this account too. In terms of account balance, this thing is just about there. Can you chart trade on Quant Tower there? I think so. I'm not 100% sure though. I think there's a lot of different ways to trade that I don't actually use. But I think so. Okay, we're going to start this one with 1 contract too. Add a little bit more to it, add a little bit more to it. Try to get a good favorable position and get a retracement back up. We got a nice little cushion on the day. And so we can take larger risks now. Oof, that's a bad drop though. Add 1 more here and I'm just going to let that be and give it time to bounce back. It's a nasty drop though, I'm going to tell you that. All right, max size here. All right, so we're basically flat on the trade now, close to it. I gotta give it some time though and let it play out. I'd really ideally like to see Apple push up a little bit more. I don't like this pattern at all though, but again, I gotta be patient. All right, ripping back up to close to flat on the trade now. Just like the last one, I'm gonna lower my size a little bit here, man. I just don't like the size. That way we're still green on the day. And if this works out, great. If not, and it turns against me like it is, that we're not gonna lose nearly as much as we would, and we'll have a chance to make some of it back. I'm gonna see if it keeps running back up there. Yeah, we're basically flat on the trade so far. Now we'll add some size to it. There we go. All right, so we actually limited our risk, but we had a beautiful green trade, and on this account so far, we are up about 725 or so. All right, so we're gonna hang it up. This account wasn't quite halfway, so we're gonna go with we're gonna try to get funded in this one again tomorrow. So that's two accounts that we've basically hit our goals on today. All right, so now we got the big boy account. We got the 150K combine. Let me make sure I'm doing this one on the right one. All right, so far my profit on the 150K combine is $4,061. So really, if I could bring this up to 5, we will. All right. Let me make sure this is the right one. Got to be careful. If this flushes down, it could start a longer term downtrend that we don't necessarily want to get stuck in. I do see Nvidia start to turn too. I just think a lot of these look like they're at a pullback level for a bounce. And again, this is such a large account that we could take some larger risks here. So, but the goal is still the same: build up a cushion of $300, $400, $500, and then take larger risks with that cushion. Man, our accuracy today has been spot on, though, dude. I'm telling you that. In every one of these accounts that we've traded, we've had an accuracy rate over 70% today, I think. All right, so we just built up a nice little cushion here, I think. Yeah, we got a $140 cushion here. Yeah, there's still a discount on Top Step if anybody wants to check it out. I don't know about the wash sale rule with regards to futures, to be honest. Yeah, if you want to check out Top Step, there's the link. I'm probably going to close it down, guys, and just kind of have... wait, let me make sure this is the right one. I got to keep making sure. I don't want to... I got to double, triple check this because I do not want to fall into a point where I'm trading in my goal accounts, which I'm not so far, which is good. All right, so here's 4, 5. Here's an entry position of this one of 5 contracts here. And then maybe we'll take 6 if we need. Yeah, I'm going to take 6 because I like three contract increments. Very close to cutting this. If I lose on this one, I'm probably just going to end it for the day. I'm going to let it consolidate a little bit, see if it bounces back. One thing I'm learning more and more is like the makers will stop you out if they can. Yeah, I don't want to get stuck in a long-term downtrend, which is what this looks like. So if this breaks that low, I got to cut it and just be okay with losing a little bit in this account when we've made so much in the other ones. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it. So we ended up having a little bit of $1,000 drawdown, a little bit more than that. But again, in this account already, we're up 4,000, and so that's actually pretty well below the daily max loss as well. But the other two were up about 1,000 each in each of them. So I think a pretty good day. 2 out of 3 accounts. We hit our goals on the day, and we got more time left. We're going to be trading later on today, so I'm going to save some room in this one in case I want to really swing heavy into the next couple. And it's all good, guys. Listen, check out Chart Prime. Chart Prime Trading View Indicator Service. If I look at the alerts today, I've got 2 different alerts that I typically put up for Chart Prime. And this is one of my sponsors as well. I use the Market Oracle Pro a ton because they're just incredibly accurate a lot of the time. And again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. I'm biased because they're a sponsor of mine. But like, if you look at this, you can kind of see how useful they are. Although again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money, but look at this. Sell signal here drops. And this is a 5-minute chart. So this drops over the next like hours all morning. So sell signal here at 4 a.m. drops up until 9 a.m. Strong buy signal here for like an hour plus. You got a nice bounce. Sell signal here for 20 minutes. You got drops. Strong buy signal here. You got bounces. Sell signal here. That one was wrong. Look at this strong buy signal, literally called the bottom. Bounce. Sell signal here. Drop. Strong signal here. Buy. And again, you can kind of see how accurate these are. And this is just a small piece. There's so many different options they allow you to use. Like I could put up chart patterns if I want to see like flags, triangles, all that good stuff. I can use any time frame in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. And again, from my experience, they're incredibly accurate. I've had a lot of positive feedback on Chart Prime from my viewers as well. They say they like Chart Prime as well. And again, you can kind of just see here why this is useful. Again, look at the chart patterns. If we put this up, like look at the chart patterns here. So you can see wedges, triangles, flag patterns, all that good stuff. And it shows you when they break. And a lot of the time that support holds. And then there's even more. There's like oscillators, smart money concepts. I could put up their oscillator here. I could put their market dynamics thing and look at support and resistance. Like you can kind of see how much they give you here in terms of data. I wouldn't recommend putting all of it up, but put 1 or 2 of these that you really like. I like the Market Oracle Pro, and it's $35 a month. Stocks, crypto, Forex, futures, very useful. Check them out. Here is the link. And again, we'll be back in a couple hours, guys. Couple hours, we will be back. I love you all. Y'all be safe in the market. I'll see you guys in a few hours. And thank you, Tiny. Have a good day. I appreciate you joining us. We'll be back later, guys. We'll be back later.